Alright you guys, so we just arrived here at the Palace of Versailles. Alright, so if this isn't impressive enough, this is just the entrance. Unreal. You ready?
Yep.
We're on the inner courtyard here, inside the fence. And unbelievable. Nothing like having a little palace wing to display your statues. You know, just in case you need a place to stroll through and see all the marvelous marble works that you've collected. This is quite the antechamber. Meeting guests. Relatively small beds. This is the chapel here at Versailles. Pretty amazing. This is the Hercules room here in the Palace of Versailles. And the roof has got an amazing painting on it. And in addition to that, it's got a massive fireplace. Well, if you wondered if it was busy here, here's an example. This is the Hall of Mirrors here in the Palace of Versailles, and you can see how busy it is. This is a very impressive room. It's called the Hall of Mirrors because the one side is all mirrors. And it's pretty crazy. And yeah, the number of candles that would have taken to light this room, unbelievable. This is the Queen's apartment. Not at all opulent. Another pretty amazing room here in the Palace of Versailles. Only showing this one because this is the actual dining room where the King and Marie Antoinette would eat every night with their family. There's a picture at the end here of Marie Antoinette with her 3 kids. And the most interesting piece of information about this room is that Mozart ate here with the King when he was 8 years old. This is the Gallery of Battles, aptly named for all of the scenes of battles along the wall. It goes on and on and on. Alright everybody, just behind me here you can see the Grand Palace of Versailles. Massive, massive palace with pools and fountains, and then in front of me the grounds leading off in the distance, and they are extensive. Pretty much as far as you can see in the distance are grounds here, and well manicured, well kept. I mean, the number of gardeners they need here to keep this thing going is unbelievable. All right, everybody, down a little bit further here. Walking down to the lake, the man-made lake. And trying to catch up with Lynn and Kieran. They are already down here somewhere, waiting for me. All right, we've come down quite a ways, and there's the palace, and in the distance, this massive courtyard in front. And then there's Lynn and Kieran standing in front of the big lake. A couple of Canada geese, reminding us of home. This pond is absolutely chock full of giant carp in the kind of 10 to 30 pound range. But I don't think I could use my rod here. Currently taking the little train over to the Queen's Palace. It's a somewhat bumpy road. We're now in the Grand Trianon here, away from the Palace of Versailles. And interestingly enough, another Queen's bedroom. Now, that fence in front of the bed is actually there on purpose. That's called the Grand Balustrade. And it was there so that people could come and meet with the Queen, but still be reminded that they were lesser. So she would greet them sitting on the bed, and they would sit out here in the foyer. Very interesting. This is the outer courtyard here at the Grand Trianon. No less impressive than the bigger area around the Palace of Versailles. I find it funny that for the king and the queen, this is basically like the cottage by the lake. Quite the cottage. This is a little courtyard here. Just entered the Petit Trianon. We're gonna check out the grounds in this part. This is the kitchen here in the Petit Trianon. A lot of these buildings we haven't seen the kitchen, but nice to see one here. So that's the Petit Trianon there, right behind me, and we decided to walk over to the Queen's Hamlet, which is where, I guess most famously, Marie Antoinette lived with her kids for a while and had a house built for herself in a little village, and all these grounds are associated with it. She had built and designed for her. So we're just walking these little trails and going to visit the hamlet, which we saw in the distance, and we saw the Queen's house. It's pretty impressive, so more to come. All right, we just walked into the Queen's Hamlet, and pretty much looks like something out of a fantasy movie. Pretty awesome. Look at that. How cool. All right, so this is the interior area here of the Queen's Hamlet. This is the coolest looking thing ever. Totally right out of a fantasy novel. So this amazing house right in front of me here is the Queen's house. we're assuming that many of these other ones around here were built for some of the help or some of the guests. But either way, what an amazing place. And more fish. Alright, we're continuing on here. This village is huge. It's like foundations of an old building over here. And another building over here. This one's really cool because there's grapes growing up the trellis. Look at that. Very cool. And here's the foundations of where a building used to be. There's Raylan and Kieran in the distance walking over towards the lookout tower slash boathouse. I don't know. These are fantastic buildings. Another one that was torn down there. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Back to the palace here and driving by the upper gardens.